loneliness and misery and suffering and unhappiness, and it's all over much too quickly. The question is, have I learned anything about life?
Hello everybody, we are live tonight here on Essence of Zen After Dark. I'm your host, Zenokami, and I'm joined today by none other than the Magnifico, the man, the legend, the living legend. That's very important nowadays. I have to specify that he is in fact a living legend. The man of the hour, the Dark Lord of all things Sith and IT, Lewis. That Mexican with a K, Sandoval.
Yo.
How you doing, Lewis?
Pretty good. Yourself?
I'm doing good, man. I got me a box of Samoas from the Girl Scout cookies.
I was gonna say, are they Girl Scout cookies?
They're my favorite, man. Like the coconut, the is it? I forget. It's not fried coconut. It's roasted coconut, drizzled over a caramel glaze on a cookie that has been then dipped in chocolate. Well, half dipped, but you know.
I'm more of a tag along kind of guy.
Dude, so is Alana.
Those are the things.
They're like Reese's peanut butter cups in cookie form. I swear. But you know, we are live. Essence of Zen of the Dark. I have to apologize for those who were expecting us to have a show last week. Last minute things came up. You know, I'm busy with life, college, midterms, exams, work, research projects, etc. And I kind of got swamped that week. I'm still swamped, but you know, I lost the document sheet. There it is. So I gotta ask, did you watch any of the news about the AMD Ryzen?
I I briefly glanced over the release date and then I just closed the tab. That's all I cared about. Like date. Okay, got the date. Bye. That's all I cared about from the article.
I was actually quite pleased. If you remember, I kind of jumped on AMD's case the same way as I jumped on Xbox about their whole not saying anything about the Xbox One Scorpion or Scorpio. I think it's Scorpion. No, it's Scorpio. Project Scorpio. I can't remember. Scorpion. Whatever.
They probably changed like 20 times between now and the time you said it last.
But we wasn't getting much information from AMD aside from a few information here and there. You know, Linus Tech Tips went in and he did his thing with trying to figure out what they were running, and you know, okay, cool. But then they shut my black behind up when they had the benchmarks. They compared it to various different Intel CPUs. They had what I believe were credible, you know, readings. They even showcased where they did not beat Intel, which I thought was very big of them in some form of fashion, because they didn't have to show that. And I am looking forward to my next build being a Ryzen build.
They said the 4th, right?
I think this one of like the base model of the CPU's launch, but I think the next two will be like a week or two after that, if memory serves me right.
So that would make it about next weekend. Yeah, next
Indeed.
weekend. I checked Newegg. I couldn't see any announcements. I don't know if they're taking pre-orders yet. But as you could tell, I am pretty excited.
So I have two caveats when it comes to the AMD Ryzen's. First being, okay, I'm kind of pissed. We did not get invited to a Ryzen event. What's the deal? You know, I feel kind of hurt, personally attacked. You know. Secondly, good job with the price, man. They are like cutting. So with the three CPUs that they basically compared to Intel, you know, the Intel CPUs were about twice as much as what they're going to be pushing out with the AMD Ryzen models. I think the base model is like $350. Then the next one up is $400. And the next one after that, the top tier model, is $500. And then those are still pretty expensive, but the $500 AMD Ryzen chip is being compared to a Intel CPU, which costs over $1,000. So, yeah.
And they're all over 3 gigahertz, right? Or 3.2, 3 point... around there, right?
I think, yeah, around 3.2, 3.4. Then, of course, they're coming unlocked. So if you're an overclocker, you can actually pump some extra voltage juice into those bad boys and boost them up to, I think, either close to 4.0 or past 4.0, depending on which AMD model you have. Apologies for not having the actual spec sheet in front of me today or for the podcast, but, you know, I do not suck, Daniel. But yeah, I'm just super excited. It's good and it's great to see AMD coming out of the woodwork, swinging, ready to quote unquote, to quote them themselves, disrupt the market. So I'm happy.
Jeez, man, $1,000 for a processor.
What really makes me like contemplate the position of humanity when it comes to the technological advances is that we have individuals, and I'm not judging them. I'd do the same if I had the extra cash, buying $1,000 CPUs to run games like Stardew Valley. I guess, I don't know.
They'll just be complaining every time it stutters.
Now, I mean, you could be using your $1,000 CPU to run a game like Kerbal Space Program, which then I'll back you up in saying is for science and research, and to see little green men get stranded on the moon as they weep because they would never return home to their families.
My question is, when will they finally try to tackle the mobile CPU market? Because I think that's they would start making a little bit more money, start gaining more speed on Intel.
Now, when you say mobile, you mean like laptops or you mean like cellular devices?
Specifically just mean mobile.
Ah.
Or I mean laptop. I kind of using the same. Yeah, I meant laptop.
I can see that.
I think the actual mobile phone world is too
Saturated.
congested with ARM devices that with even lower power devices that could win that.
That's actually a good idea for them to do, because I believe one of the other achievements that the Ryzen CPUs are bringing is that of a lower powered watt consumption. So lower power with higher performance, with cooler speeds, supposedly cooler speeds. I mean, that's right up the market for, you know, laptop devices. So especially with a $350 CPU for the base model of their Ryzen architecture, if they want to fit it into a laptop type of framework or a format, I think it's doable. But most likely what we'll see is, hopefully in a few months, they'll come out with some, you know, laptop specific versions of Ryzen, kind of like a Ryzen-M, possibly. I'm not sure. We'll see. It's just my thoughts. I don't know. eh.
That would be neat.
But speaking on disrupting the market, guess what, Lewis?
What?
Google has found a way to make Waymo money. See what I did there? I think Lewis has lost all confidence and respect for me.
Way more money. I just realized that I was muted. I was like trying different jokes. I was like,
Sure, Lewis. You're just trying to spare my feelings. Thank you. But no, Google finally gave their self-driving project an official name. And while it's kind of cheesy, I kind of like it.
Is it just me, or does that little car on their homepage just look a little too creepy because it's got no face to it, or no mouth to it?
Well, it kind of has a mouth, but at the same time, it's like a straight face. So if you look at the front end where you get the lights, and then you see below it the two yellow, I'm guessing they're either blinkers or parking lights.
Temples?
Yeah, like the little, they fit as
Oh,
rosy cheeks. But they have like a little small, and so he has like a straight face, like he's not happy, or the car is not happy. Matter of fact, if I can get my browser to open, I'll show the YouTube audience what I'm looking at.
I guess the other way to see it is that vertical thing in the middle being like a giant mouth that just opens up.
Oh my, that's how you get inside the car. Come on, Firefox. Get a little juice to yourself now. Paste and go. And then I'm just going to go ahead and slide that on over. So yeah, Waymo, this thing, again, for the YouTube viewers. So if you're listening to this via afterwards on Google Play, iTunes, or TuneIn, you can go ahead and visit our YouTube channel and search for episode 23. I think it's 23. Yeah, 23. And you can get it. Or just go to waymo.com. That'd be a little easier. But yeah, this thing. It's a little smiley face. Or a straight face. Sad face. Like he's being, or is being forced to carry around this old man in a purple shirt wearing sunglasses? Huh.
Kind of looks like it.
Maybe he's blind. You know what? Let's not talk about the old man in the photo.
Did you actually see the video yet?
No. Let's take a look at that now. As I quickly try to mute it when it. Okay, it's already muted. Yeah.
I believe the guy you're talking about is a blind guy.
Possibly.
I know for about a third of the video, they're showcasing this guy who is blind who can now get around places, basically.
This is weird, man. I'm digging it. It can track stop. Okay. Oh, I see the blind. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it could also track cyclists. I mean, fortunately, it could also track cyclists. Yeah.
Did she?
Woo.
Yeah, sure. Fortunately, Lewis, I caught that.
Fortunately, woo. Yeah, don't want to hit those cyclists.
Apparently, Daniel says he's cool and I'm not. My heart is in fact broken, Daniel. Right through the chest, right in the heart, man. Right here in the heart. But no, I can dig this. I'm all for self-driving cars so long as they're properly maintained. Well, this one is actually a little bit more controversial in my opinion. So, of course, you got like the Elon Musk self-driving cars from the. Are they called Tesla still? Tesla self-driving car, I think.
Yeah. I think that's what they're being called. I don't know if that's your official name or project name.
But with Tesla, and they've gotten more criticism, and I don't really know why. I mean, I guess because of that one accident, but that's just kind of the point. With Tesla, they push forward the idea of driving assistance. So while it can drive on its own, it tries to remind you that you have to at least maintain the notion of I may have to take control at any moment. Whereas with the Google self-driving car Waymo, I don't see a steering wheel. So,
Gotta have full trust in the Googles.
and that's kind of worrying, and we'll get to why that might be worrying later in the podcast when we enter the science section. I promise you that.
Well, I remember having an argument with someone earlier about what the fail rate could be, and I was arguing how a fail rate of like 1%, I would consider still significant, because it doesnn't take you a long time to pass 100 cars down the highway. And if 1% of those, so 1 out of every 100 cars, is gonna act a little freaky, that number still is a little too high for me.
Especially with no steering wheel.
Especially with those steering wheel.
Also, I don't know how fast their cars can like react to really bad drivers. I don't mean like bad in the sense of someone who just can't drive. I'm talking about bad in the sense of that one. See, I'm not gonna swear. I'm trying my best not to swear to cut down on editing on my end. A really unsavory person, an unsatisfactory individual who may be trying to go 100 miles per hour down the highway in congested traffic, swerving through each lane without a turn signal, in between cars with a very tight fit.
Yeah, my guess is that's gonna be like very jerky. It's gonna like just pump the brakes so it doesn't hit the person in front.
Well, actually, that's also a good question. Like, do they allow the Waymo vehicles to be on the expressway? Because I haven't actually seen. No, actually, I think I have seen their cars on the expressway. Never mind, I take that back. I think it was in the video that I just watched. So, never mind. But I mean, in all, well, excuse me, Nintendo. I think it's gonna be a good move. I can't wait to see it actually happen, roll out. So only time will tell.
I'll be that guy on the sidelines. You're like, yeah, don't die. I'll just keep driving myself until you guys figure that thing out.
2017, everybody. Yay, woo! From the sidelines, don't die. Louis Sandoval, circa 2017. Moving on, though, one thing that I think is already hitting the market really hard, and in a good way, not like hitting it hardly in a bad way, but that would be the Nintendo Switch, which, while it's going to launch on March 3rd of this year, a lot of people have been getting early review copies, I'm going to say Instagram, my goodness. IG, what's IG? Insider Gaming, I think. As well as Game Informer, The Know, GameSpot, and a few others. Like also a lot of YouTubers have gotten early copies of a Nintendo Switch. And I mean, most of the information that's been coming out is a lot of good information, or a lot of good reactions rather. I'm still kind of skeptical on some aspects, but I do kind of want one.
Well, I can tell you that between the AMD Ryzen and the Switch, since they're both kind of coming out next weekend, I could probably go for that sweet Ryzen chip.
I agree, sir. Not again, because Zelda Breath of the Wild is also coming out with the Nintendo Switch, which is, I'm pretty sure, is going to be a fantastic game. But I need a little bit more to justify me getting a Switch. And I thought about buying one simply to be one of the many pioneers in making YouTube videos about the Switch. But then I thought, don't really have time like that, being one. Two, I can put that money in somewhere else, like a Ryzen chip. And three, it's already overly saturated online already, because the people who got early review models have been like spamming my YouTube feed with videos about the Switch left and right. I mean 5 videos uploaded within 5 minutes of each other about the interface, the Joy-Cons, the games, their thoughts, an unboxing video. I'm cool with that, but you could have put all that in one freaking video. Don't spam my feed. Looking at you, but I'm not gonna name the channel because that'd be throwing shade. So, Lewis, are you interested in the Zelda Breath of the Wild game at all?
I know very little about it. I was more distracted by the actual Switch itself.
It's essentially, you know, it's a Zelda game, open world, and it has survival elements to it, which, you know, kudos. But
Is there anything unique about it?
I
Does it
mean,
have anything like fancy, like the Minish Cap, where you can go super tiny? He's like Wind Waker, where you could, you know.
well, you can.
What's crazy about Wind Waker?
The ship sailing was the unique aspect about Wind Waker.
I guess that's true. I feel like there was something else to it.
I think one of the, I guess you can call it unique things, again, it's like the open world aspect to it. So there's like mountain climbing, hang gliding, cooking, freezing to death. It's trying to go for a slight immersive feeling to it, which, I mean, kudos, but again, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to rag on it because I haven't played it at all, so I don't want to say anything about something I don't have full experience with it. But I can just say that from what I watched, it looks interesting, but it doesn't pull me more than just any other Zelda game has before, especially since Twilight Princess, because that is my favorite Zelda ever. Ever.
I forget what that one had.
That was the wolf
Can't
one.
you turn into a wolf or something?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, sorry, so good. And it wasn't even just like the mechanics of the game. What really gave it a push, in my opinion, was having an amazing version of Zelda. She was a total BA. She was amazing. Took crap from nobody. Then you had another new character, Midna, who was awesome. Took crap from nobody. And it was just the design aspect, the tone, the shifts, everything, in my opinion, was wonderful about Twilight Princess. So yeah. And then we got that crap with Skyward Sword. Wasn't too happy about that. Anywho's,
We shall see.
I forgot the whole comparison that I was gonna make with Zelda Breath of the Wild with the new PlayStation game with on Sony console, the Horizon Zero Dawn. And if you haven't seen that game, that's the one where you play as the young red-headed woman who is ostracized from her tribal like clan or family moniker tribe thing, and you basically hunt living animals as well as giant robotic dinosaur-esque creatures. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute! I'm pulling up the cover game. the album art, the cover art.
There
And when
you
I saw
go.
that, I was thinking Monster Hunter. I didn't know anything about it.
That's pretty. It's essentially like a single-player Monster Hunter game with a far more engrossing storyline to it. And a lot of people have been trying to compare the games of Breath of the Wild and Horizon Zero Dawn because they're both like this adventure, story-driven, survival-less game. And I think they do well to be compared to one another, but at the same time, I think they're going to serve two greatly different audiences, obviously. So I think the comparison is kind of a false comparison to make in the aspect of what's going to be better or what's going to do. I think it's just both games are great. They're coming out around the same type of time, pushing this new era of storytelling with mechanics of immersive survivalism to it. And I'm just like, I'm all for it. Personally, Horizon Zero Dawn interests me far more than Zelda Breath of the Wild, but it's only because it's something extremely new, like a new IP altogether.
This will be out for just PlayStation 4, right? It'll be an exclusive.
I believe it would be an exclusive, yes.
Gotcha.
But
PlayStation 4, dude. Does that one have a launch date yet?
the P what, the game or
Oh, keep on forgetting the PS4 is the current one.
yeah.
I don't know why I keep on thinking the third one's the current one.
But no, I honestly I think if Zelda or the Nintendo wanted to do something fresh with Zelda, you know what? No, I'm not gonna even say this in the podcast because I probably want to make a video about it separately when I have a good day because I think it's a really great idea. I'll tell you about it personally after the podcast, but I think it'd be a really cool like shake up to the series. You can do it on an alternate timeline. But yeah, so if you're a viewer and you're very interested on my idea for Zelda, just bug me to keep making or to keep reminding me to make that video, and I'll make it happen when possible. But let's move on into the entertainment news, Lewis. And if I get a little too ranty and a little too rage-inducing, just let me know. Give me a quick shout. So, I talk about it almost every podcast recently, but the whole thing with certain outlets like Collider, their Heroic Hollywood, comicbooks.com, and a lot of other media outlets about comic book entertainment, movie entertainment, etc., and my views on their views on how they treat the DCEU movies. So, you remember I told you about the whole Ben Affleck dropping out as the director for the Batman?
Yeah. People want him to do a lot more in a lot less time.
Right, because he makes statements about not being able to take the cowl off and put it back on easily, having to take it off to actually direct shots, and then having to take 30 to 40 minutes to put things back on just to do an act in set shot. But everyone kind of screamed that it's because the script wasn't turning out right, and it was just him not liking where the direction stuff going. Which, I mean, hey, it's still a possibility, sure. But all of the evidence supposedly, put out there by Ben Affleck, by DC, by people close to the project, was stated more so that he was just doing too much in a small time frame and couldn't make everything work. And he decided to let go of the directing so he could act first and foremost and still produce along the film. So basically they were eyeing for a new director. So then come along Matt Reeves, the director behind Planet of the Apes, and who is going to be doing The War, Planet of the Apes, pretty soon. He did other movies too, a lot of horror movies and some other movies that were less known and etc., which is fine. But he was being eyed to be the director. He was asked, and apparently the negotiations stalled at one point because he was concerned about the timeline for him also doing War, Planet of the Apes. And a lot of the news outlets ran it as he didn't like it, he turned it down, he said screw the Batman, and the project is basically a big indication of the failure on Warner Brothers and DC part. So as all these outlets are going into this random story that hold little to no basis, Matt Reeves comes out and announces that he's actually directing the movie. So all of the rumors about him turning it down and that the project was failing, etc., false.
Huh.
And I'm not yet even done with that, Lewis. So, Matt Reeves stated that he was going to direct the Batman, and that was it. So, of course, Collider and some other outlets, in media entertainment for comic book movies, then goes to state, because Matt Reeves says he's directing the Batman, but says nothing about Ben Affleck, and he doesn't say anything about Jeff Johns, that this must mean he's doing it unwillingly. And I'm just like, come on, man. Okay, so if you want to say that things might still be shaky, reasonable, sure. That's totally, a possibility that is indicative and evident of recent events. Sure, fine, whatever. But for you to say that just because he came out and says he's directing the movie, but didn't say anything about Ben Affleck and Jeff Johns, that this is a indication that things are still going south, is a bit much. Especially then when 5 minutes after those articles leak, Ben Affleck releases a tweet stating it showcases him in the bat suit without the cowl in the bat cave with 4 computers, and the tweet is captioned, "Welcome to the bat cave at Matt Reeves." So basically, Ben Affleck did that to say, yeah, he's still playing Batman. Chill out. Lewis.
Jumping to a lot of conclusions there.
You know, personally, I don't even think it's them trying to be conclusive about something. It's just right now saying anything negative about the Batman, Ben Affleck, and the DCU movies drives a lot of traffic. And it's a great way to, you know, boost your ad revenue and etc. There's some people who even admitted to using it to boost their ad revenues, but I'm not going to go there. I get it. It's a market. It's an industry. Totally reasonable. Still a dick move.
I mean, it's all just being staged.
Pretty much. I mean, because at the same time, this isn't really hurting DC because it's like free publicity. So, I mean, so long as the movie comes out and it's good, I mean, you can like rub it in their faces. It can be used as momentum to push forward. I also do fear, though, that there's a, you know, my personal opinion, you know, I think there is a bias in terms of the critics and their reactions to some of the DC movies. So I have a feeling that people are going to go into like the upcoming Wonder Woman movie, the Justice League movie, and the Batman with already a predisposition of a sour taste in their mouths for it. But I mean, hey, that's their prerogative, whatever. Whew.
To Batman, Act 1, Twitter.
So what?
I said Batman, Act 1,
Oh.
Twitter.
Pretty much. But speaking on that, more like Batman DCU news as well, it was released that they're planning a Nightwing movie, and I'm extremely excited about that.
I think you remember telling me about that. I think early last year this time?
Yep.
Nightwing.
So for those who out there don't know who Nightwing is, he was Dick Grayson, the first Boy Wonder, the first kid to don the green and red and yellow outfit as Robin the Boy Wonder. Later he grows up and he no longer wants to be in the shadow of Batman, so he dismisses the moniker of the Robin. And the funny thing is, he actually got the name Nightwing from Superman because the bird Nightwing is actually a Kryptonian bird that Superman told Nightwing about, and he just donned that name. So, yeah.
Interesting. Did not know that one.
There's actually a lot of, like, before the New 52 canonical version of the comics, a lot of interaction between Dick Grayson and Clark Kent after Dick leaves the Batman, you know, shadow, because he was dealing with trying to find his own place, his own thing, his own name, his own identity, and Superman was the one that actually gave him encouragement to be who he wants to be the hero that he wants to be. You can use what Bruce taught him to use as a stepping stone to further be a better person, but in the way that he wants to be. And there's a lot of, like, you know, touching moments of, like, I guess if you're an anime fan, it's kind of like how Naruto's son, looks up to Sasuke instead of Naruto. It's kind of, it's a funny thing like that. I would.
Sasuke, notice me.
No, shut up. I gotta send you a video, and you're gonna laugh your butt off on that. But I digress. I can't wait. I do hope the actor Glenn, well, that's not the actor's name. I don't know the actual actor's name, but the person who plays Glenn from The Walking Dead, who recently, was departed from the show. Spoiler alert for those who did not know. Is rumored to be one of the people being eyed to play Nightwing, and I would actually like that very much, personally.
I don't know if you can say spoiler alert after the fact.
Watch me. But yeah, that's mainly what's going on with DC. As for Marvel news, I am extremely excited because they released images of Thor Ragnarok concept art, and they have Hulk in his gladiator armor, and I cannot wait to see him suited up with a giant axe and going to town on some weird alien things. It's gonna be fantastic. Ugh.
Oh, I didn't include a link for that.
Oh, oh crap.
Yeah, it's fine. I can look it up. Yeah.
Marvel
Copy.
Thor Ragnarok Hulk concept.
Paste.
Oh, you got it?
Click. Scroll. Wrong page. Back.
I actually got an image. Oh yeah, I got it. It's actually from comicbookmovie.com. Not comicbooks.com, because I actually do not like those guys anymore. They became really clickbait trash, and that's just not because of DC thing. I mean, like in general, a lot of bad clickbait. But post this, and I'll switch it over to the browser for the YouTube viewers. Oh man, just look at that. Just look at it. Would you look at it? Why don't you just look at it? So great. And like I'm not sure how far they're going to go into the entirety of Thor Ragnarok with Planet Hulkness on it, because for those who do not know, after Hulk basically wins over the entire planet of, well, which is now Planet Hulk, he does have a child by the name of like Skada, or Skad. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's like Skaar. And I think he has like another son as well who ends up becoming like evil or something, and then dies, and then starts this whole war. It's a lot of awesomeness that I personally like, especially with the fact that it kind of forces this more like mutual connection between Bruce Banner and the Hulk. Hulk starts talking. He's not like super smart like Bruce, but he's competent to the point of holding full-on conversations. So I would just highly recommend you go watch the animated Marvel movie Planet Hulk. It's phenomenal, fantastic. I love it. The only thing I don't like about it, because I'm pretty sure we're not going to see it, is there won't be any inclusion of the Marvel Illuminati. So yeah.
Illuminati.
If you did not know, the Illuminati in the Marvel Universe is basically the council of the most intelligent people of the Marvel Universe, which basically holds the members of Doctor Strange, Mr. Fantastic, Black Panther, Tony Stark, and I think Black Bolt is on the I can't remember, actually. I don't remember. But yeah, they decided that Hulk was too dangerous to keep on Earth, so they sent him away in space, and that's how Hulk landed on the planet, which is now known as Planet Hulk. So, yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, is it an alternate timeline?
Nope, all canonical. So, essentially, what happens is, like, after he conquers the planet Hulk, he eventually sets his eyes on coming back to Earth. And it was not in terms of a good intentions. He was coming to wreck crap because he felt really annoyed and hurt that they launched him away for the sake of him being too dangerous. So he wanted revenge.
Interesting.
However,
Scar.
Yeah.
Scare.
Skara. I like to say, but I'm looking forward to it in the movies, because I know in the movies we're not going to get that full-on comic book origin, which is fine. It's actually going to be more of a bro movie between Thor and the Hulk, which is why it's a Thor Ragnarok movie that just kind of incorporates Planet Hulk into it, which I'm actually kind of concerned about, but I mean, you know, We actually went through the list pretty fast.
I guess we did.
See,
I guess we did.
I thought there was going to be enough topics to not have to do an intermission, so I skipped it, because I thought we'd be like rushing for time. I don't know. I think we can probably make this work in all together. So, ooh, excuse me. Do you know what's Oh, sorry, excuse me again. Drinking beer and a podcast is not a good idea. Do you know what's been going on with NASA and these planets, man?
I glanced around a bit at the article, but didn't really actually read it.
I mean, I've been hearing a lot about it in general, and the basic synopsis for our laymans here, myself included, is NASA kind of accidentally discovered 7 Earth-like planets in a different galaxy. And while this isn't saying that they're like Earth to the point that we can go ahead and live on them, the point is saying that all 7 of these planets fit within that habitable zone, that sweet spot, that sweet planetary spot between the distance of the sun, of not being too hot and not being too cold. I think that's the gist of it, actually. The exoplanet.
Yeah, like a planet with, like, some water, maybe a decent atmosphere.
The only problem with it is it's about 40 light years away. That's a long distance.
Exoplanets.
For those who do not know what light years actually entails, essentially, so we know that light is currently being the important word there, the fastest thing that we know. So it takes, I think, the sun, between 8 to 13 minutes for the light from the sun to reach us on Earth. So when someone says that something is 40 light years away, that means if we're looking at it through a telescope and we see something like a planet explodes, and that planet is 40 light years away, what that means is when we see the planet exploding, it would mean that happened 40 years ago. It doesn't mean that it'll take us 40 human years to make it there, because we're not traveling at the speed of light. It means if we were traveling at the speed of light, it would take us 40 years then to reach these planets. So that's why it's kind of like Elon Musk, you need to build us a space colony and send us in that direction, and we'll just have humans living on that space colony, going through generation after generation after generation after generation after generation. Hopefully don't do any type of form of inbreeding, and have competent, healthy humans land on one of those planets, and hopefully those planets will be somewhat habitable. If not, I'm sorry to the generation that we had sent into space to go, pioneer the universe. Our bad.
We still got a while. What is it? Crap, I forgot his name now.
Neil deGrasse Tyson?
No. 25th Century Man. Here we go. Dang, can't believe I forgot his name now. I'll be back.
Is it from the movie?
Old school spaceman. Something Dodgers. Buck Dodgers?
Well, Duck Dodgers is the Looney Tunes version of that.
No, yeah, the Duck Dodgers is a parody one. But I think it's Buck Rogers. Buck Rogers, there you go. Buck Rogers, 25th Century Man.
Oh. I actually missed the TV show Duck Dodgers. That was my jam. But I mean,
there you go. That's the year. 2419.
That's
2419.
I am not looking forward to the. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna live that far into the future, but Kobe is going crazy with this.
Oh, my mic is on. Fun fact: 2319 is the Monsters Inc. number. 2319.
Oh, it is. Holy, there's so many not parodies, references with Disney movies and their animation studios and their story writing. It's actually quite genius, but we will see. I don't know, man. I'm just like, the more that we find Earth-like planets in the galaxies beyond the Milky Way is also quite frightening, because, and not to be like a paranoid tinfoil hat person myself, but it is like just statistically speaking, numerically sound that we are not the only living beings in the universe. And while there are possibly many other forms of life forms, like, sodium based rather than carbon based, silicon based rather than carbon based, so there could be alien life as we do not know it. The fact that we are finding more Earth-like planets every year is kind of frightening, because, as I believe Alana's told me about a joke that's been going around online, where there's an image of the character from the show Empire, Cookie, who's hiding behind a car, and the joke is, NASA just found 7 Earth-like planets, but what if they found us back? And I'm laughing, but I'm crying inside, Lewis.
It's Fallback Friday, don't you know?
Oh, God, no. We just send them a ping, and then we get a pong back, and it's well, the bell's been wrong. That's a BVS reference there. Ding ding ding
Gotta
ding
go
ding
home.
ding 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 ding. I don't know, man. It truly is kind of scary to me, though. And so here's a conundrum. We could actually find alien life somewhere in the universe without actually being in danger, because while the notion of aliens visiting us would be a really serious implication, because then that would mean that those alien species would be capable of faster than light travel, FTL, moving at the speed of light to reach us, if not faster, possibly using black holes or warp holes to bend the fabric of the universe to travel through short distances. And that would mean that their technology far outweighs and surpasses ours. Now, on the off chance that we ourselves could be, it's a small chance, a small percentage, but we could be the most technologically advanced alien life form. It's a small chance, but it's still a chance out there. Maybe in our neighboring galaxies, we're the most advanced. So we can visit somewhere and find primitive alien life forms, like that from Star Trek, where we have the first initiative as to not make direct contact. And that's a little bit less worrying implication, but I would still worry, because as human beings who have not yet reached world peace in terms of a notion of bettering our world in the name of mankind, or humankind rather, what means if we found a primitive life form of aliens, we'd probably go there dominated. And I don't want to get into certain implications, but I mean, yeah, humanity doesn't have a good track record, at least not yet. We need another few centuries of being better before we meet lesser alien life forms, in my opinion.
I say we're done pretty good. We haven't completely killed each other, we're still alive. But I'd say we're doing pretty good.
Yeah. But yeah, so my tangent on alien life and human life as we know it, in terms of the idea of humanity and the human kindness that brings forth from that type of thinking. The next scientific article that we wanted to talk about was the SHA1 collision, which I don't really know much about, other than the fact that this is a huge implication so long as both of the outcomes were readable. So let me try to take a look at that now. As I pander. I'm pandering, Lewis. Not pandering, I'm stalling. That's the word, stalling. Stalling. Not stallin, stalling.
Stalin?
No, I'm not stalling. Maybe on the inside, a little bit.
SHA1. Yep. I think Google's been warning about it, telling the world that we shouldn't be using it, because we weren't too far from finding a collision. And then they started their own experiment to try to find a collision, and they found a collision.
This is some dangerous shit. Oh, crap, I just swore. I gotta make a note of that. I don't know, man. So, and this is also why I want to get into the troubling implications on Google and their freaking cars. But to cover SHA1, that is in fact one of the main bases for our crypto security, right?
Yeah, I think we use SHA1 a lot still for sending SSL certificates. And
Right.
so they're trying to want people to start moving away from that.
And
I think I found what you were saying though. The two strings that were colliding.
mhm.
They attached two PDFs. So those two PDF files, those are the ones that are colliding. We can find or if you try to do checksums on them.
Oh, I thought you were just giving me like
so their
bad
entire
links.
files.
Because I was like, this PDF is only
Nope,
one slide.
those two PDFs.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness, that's not good. Because I was talking with my friend Jack, who you probably know from the wireless earbud X1T review, the cameraman, who's gonna be a cameraman for next week as well. He was saying that so long as the collisions are like maybe one is readable and one is still jarbled hash, we're still good. We're still okay. But if both are returning back as readable formats, one that can be used in the cipher as to actual things, which apparently they are because both of the links are working, that's not good. No. And so to explain
Yep.
what SHA is for the layman's out there again, because not everyone's computer scientists, and not everyone is like you, Lewis, with their luxurious, succulent bachelor's degree in computer science with artificial intelligence. I'm gonna hype you up every chance I get, so be prepared for that. But SHA stands for Secure Hash Algorithms, and SHA1 is Secure Hash Algorithm 1. And it's basically used for most modern day, cryptography. I think both the same. Both are reasonable.
Cryptography. Kind of sound like you had a New York accent when you said that.
I'm walking here. I don't know. Is that Brooklyn or is that New York? I don't know.
Brooklyn. There you go. I just follow it up and say New York.
Yo, I'm from Brooklyn, son. I'm sitting here talking about SHA1, okay? Alright? So we got basic things with secure algorithms that was put forth for our hash function design by the United States National Security Agency and is a U.S. Federal Information Processing Standard, son, published from the United States NIST. Okay, I'm getting kind of more like rapper infused there at the end, but...
I think you could actually pass off as someone from the NSA.
You just got like this hard Brooklyn raised NSA agent who's like the most knowledgeable of all, coming for a press conference.
Well, in Maryland, New York's just a hop skip away.
It's like, now coming to the podium is Dr. David T. Letterman, who's the most advanced leader in terms of the NSA intelligence. Alright, settle down. Pull out your books. I'm about to school you on some knowledge. Anyway. So basically it's used for our cryptography on things like encryption, security keys, putting things behind vaults, hiding things. One of the generations for what is it? SHA, or not SHA, but SSH? SHA? No, SSH key generations for things like what is key validation? What am I looking for, Lewis? What's the word? What's the term?
Potato?
Yes, potato. Key potato. No. It's basically, so if you do things like GitHub and you have a repository, you can set up a collaborator. And if you don't want to send them an email, you want to have them be able to log in via a special a private key via a public key. That's kind of a level that I believe uses SHA1, I think.
No, I think you're right. I think they use SHA1 for their commit hashes. That's what you're referring to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Google is, well, at least on their shatter.it website, they're saying that certificate signers have stopped using SHA1, but there are still lots of SSL certificates signed with SHA1 out in the wild. Those should be replaced.
And so it begins.
It's a big deal that the collision was found, but it's not to the scale where like everyone should start like hitting the panic button because what Google did was like they clustered a whole bunch of computers together to at first even get this collision to happen. And from Google's calculations, if someone was trying to do this on their own like home machines, it would take about 6,500 years for you to do it on just a single CPU. So if you're planning to like try to break these, yeah, good luck. You know, stick to cracking Wi-Fi.
I got time.
But so let's say you're some hotshot, like Psh, I'll do it all with my GPU. Well, Google has calculated that if you were to just use one GPU to try to brute force and like find another collision, it'll take you about 110 years to do it on your fancy GPU.
I don't need to have every single birthday be relevant.
However, Google also like dropped that how irrelevant MD5 hashes are now. That you can find a collision with an MD5 hash on your smartphone within 30 seconds.
Damn, that's some shade. That's like shade throwing hard. It's like, oh yeah, you know, well, we the SHA1 collision, but check out these MD5s, man. Like,
well, just to put into perspective, you know, like, I mean, SHA1 is like, it's on the setting on it, but it's not officially dead. It's starting to die off. Whereas MD5 is like, no, just if you're using that for anything serious, just stop right now.
And I think it's important that people also realize that this is part of the lifespan in terms of technology, computer science, algorithms, theoretical science for these types of generations. As time goes on and as technology advances, we are going to be able to make current things obsolete. So it's only a time. It's only time before, you know, like SHA1 collisions become more of a thing. When it comes faster, when one day someone in their basement can do it on a futuristic cell phone that runs off plutonium, probably.
Plutonium.
I like plutonium. I like the name plutonium. But until then, you know, it's like you said, it's nothing to worry about exactly right now. But in 100 years, possibly we'll have something like someone's going to say that SHA1 was possibly the worst encryption model ever, or what were they thinking? They were so dumb not to have quantum computing figured out by, you know, something like that. But what was I saying again, Lewis?
Quantum computing.
Oh no! Going back to like the implications of like security and like Google and
life cycle.
Yeah. Not even just life cycle, but back to like the whole why Google's self-driving car with the technology that they're using with like SHA1 is all like very frightening. Because their freaking AI system is coming even smarter, Lewis. With every day, that thing grows stronger. Because, like, didn't you say that it did something with encryption by taking bits from other code?
Oh, no, that was something unrelated. That was... Yeah, you're talking about a different article I posted earlier. It's a piece of software called Deepcoder, the one I sent you, that basically learns by borrowing code from other applications.
Gotcha. That's still worrisome, though.
It's a cannibal. It eats its own to grow stronger.
This is literally the beginning of artificial intelligence becoming a thing where like it's going through its primal stages of not being able to think for itself to one day being like, what the hell was I thinking when I was younger?
Yeah, I need to read that article in its entirety. I just glossed over it, but one of the bullet points it's saying it could allow non-coders just describe an idea for a program and let the system build it.
That is dangerous stuff, man. Oh, we made good time. My rants help stretch out the time. Oh, so Lewis, do you have anything else to cover before we sign off and tell the lovely people listening to buy our albums?
Stay thirsty, my friends. Unless you're thirsty, then don't be thirsty. Drink some water.
Dude, you should be like the Dos Equis figurehead.
I get fired so quick.
Why? Why would you be fired? So you don't even have an answer. That's
Sir,
how.
get off the motorcycle. We're not ready pressing yet. Sir.
I'll tell you when I'm ready, and I'm ready now for a Dos Equis bottle. Stay thirsty, my friends. I can't do the good accent very well. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for us this week. Apologies if we seemed a little bit dull here and there, as we said it earlier. Long day. We're both tired. I don't think they was here
User
for the.
disconnected from your channel.
And there goes Lewis. That bastard. But I had midterms this week, so I'm exhausted. Or today, actually, or yesterday. I can't remember. I had work today. Anyway, I'll see you all.
User joined your channel.
The bastard returns.
Wrong window. I just hate it when I have like windows stacked and I just like keep on like smashing X. Like no.
We'll see you all next week, Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern time. Hopefully with some like awesome news, because it was a great week this week for news, not for me personally, but so yeah, we'll see you next week. Stay tuned for Sunday. I believe we're getting the stream team back together for another Path of Exile showdown with some new updates as we prepare for the future update, I think in June or July or something. That's gonna have it's gonna go from 4 acts to 10, and we are pumped. But yeah, so stay tuned to the channel. Keep us posted with ideas, first things, content. I've been reading comments lately with very nice comments saying that our channel deserves more viewers, subscribers, they like the content, they want to see more. I'm gonna try to make that happen for you guys. I really am. So thank you for your love, support, and we'll see you all next week.
Make way for happy hours.